First, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome to the Waite Park Board meeting for February 5th. Official roll call, John Bowden. Here. Roger Bruning. Here. Janice Rain.
Here.
Rochelle Smith.
Here.
Schmidt, excuse me, sorry. All right. Next is elections of officers, but I do want to make one comment that Bruce Moline yesterday gave me his resignation from the park board. So that's why Bruce is not here tonight. And I do want to take this time to thank Bruce personally for his years of service. I think it was a little over 5 years that he had on here, so wish him well. So next is election of officers. I will run this, and then when the chair is chosen, the chair will take over from there for the rest of the meeting. So, chair, looking for a motion for chair for 1-year term.
I'll nominate John.
Seconded.
Jana seconds that? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay.
Thank you.
John, another year.
Yes, another year.
I'm looking for a motion for deputy chair.
I'll nominate Janice.
Okay. Is there a second on the floor? John? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. Congratulations, Janice. Now the most coveted position for the park board. And really, can you please keep it down and not, arm wrestle each other for this, okay? We're looking for a secretary for a 1-year term. Secretary does get paid $15 more a meeting to be able to take the notes and take the time, so. I will open up for nominations.
Nominate a good incumbent.
John nominates Roger. Okay, is there a second? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roger, you voted for yourself?
Yeah. It was gonna be any way you look at it.
Right. All those that say nay? None hearing. Roger, thank you for doing the minutes again this year. I do have a couple of items to add to the agenda, and then I'll turn it over to the chair. Number 5A, I'm gonna call it, will be introduction of Zach after you get done with the minutes. And other business, the mayor would like to have some time to talk to the park board at the end, so. All right, John, it's all yours.
Thank you. I'd like to have a motion for approval of the agenda for tonight. Make a motion to accept it. All in favor?
For the agenda. Second, yeah.
Okay, number 5, the approval of the minutes for the August 6th meeting. We have a motion for approval.
Move that it.
Okay, we have a second? A second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. I have nothing to talk about in regard to grants.
Oh, no, I'm gonna talk about Zach here.
Back, I'm
Yep.
sorry.
So, park board and citizens, this is not live tonight. This will be replayed at a later date. As long as I hit the right buttons, so we're not sure. So, anyway, I am going to, as you all know, I'm looking at retiring sometime here in the next 16 to 18 months, which puts me into June of 26. I have been sitting on the park board as the park liaison since its inception and feel that this is the right time for me to step down from that position and turn it over to the Public Works Supervisor of Parks and Streets, and that is Zach Dubay. And so Zach will be now your new Park Board Liaison, official title, and he will be running the meetings from here forward. I won't be a stranger, so if there's something that you guys need me to come back for or whatever, or on the backside, I'll definitely still be there working yet and helping. But, so I just want to give a moment for Zach. He's sitting down there this time, but in April, he'll be up in this chair running the meeting. And so if you want to say a few words about yourself, Zach, just,
Yeah, so I am married and have a 3-year-old, newborn on the way that's due in June. I reside in Rice. Prior to, so I've been with Wade Park, I think just past 2 years. Prior to that, I was with the city of St. Cloud for 13. I worked with their streets department, their sanitation department, and I started out in their parks department. So the parks is kind of just been a passion of mine, so I'm excited to be a part of this board.
Jeannie, which one is it? Sorry to interrupt.
Flowers 2024.
This one? Okay, all right, thanks. All right.
Okay, we move next to the landscape coordinator.
Perfect timing. So,
Oh,
got a little video of what we did last year. We'll see if we can pull it up,
if Bill can do
if
this.
Bill can do this. Short, sweet, but it was fun. So we added up the hours between the RSVP volunteers and the non-RSVP volunteers. We had 820 hours last year. We have 24 volunteers. I didn't do the math, but that's a lot of hours for 24 volunteers. Some of them, excuse me, were far more involved. Some of them weren't as involved. I will take anybody if they want to put in 1 hour a month or 20 hours a month. So we have jobs for every single one of those. I'm working with RSVP to continue to build that list. We did 2 newer gardens. One we did on the walking trail due to drought from the previous year. So we cleaned that out last spring and replanted that. And the other garden that you probably have noticed is the one down by River's Edge. Cleaned that out. Staff was able to take out dirt, put in new dirt. I think we kind of played around a little bit with the watering down there maybe, and started redoing that one. We have volunteers that want to keep that park a little bit more on the red, white, and blue patriotic theme. So we're striving to keep that theme going for the flagpole garden and the parking lot garden on River's Edge Park. So that is the plan. We'll keep going on that one. We also were very fortunate to get city staff to work on the rock garden and help us out because that was a mess for years. And we got a lot of stuff taken care of last year with that rock garden. It's starting to take shape again, which is good. It's very good. I'm starting some seeding. The orders are pretty much ready to go out for the nurseries. And this year we'll be doing some hanging pots along the walking trail, which we haven't done for a few years. And we're going to be able to do that this year because we also have secured a water person who's willing to take the extra effort, I think, to put it up there. We lost Denny, unfortunately, but we were easily able to replace that so we can get some watering done there. I think that was, I talked to Zach briefly. He's going to get a different hose section extension so the plants, the pots can be watered because it's an earth grow pot, holds so many gallons of water. And I believe those, correct me if I'm wrong, the light post there should be able to hold that pot with that dirt and that water. That's been re-secured to hold more weight from the initial concept. Let's see. We'll be adding new potting soil to all of the planters not at the ledge. So that's about 30 planters. They've all been emptied out except the few that are in front of City Hall right now, cleaned out, and new dirt put in all of those this spring. And I've been in contact with the new mayor because we have the state of the city address. And the last couple of years, the mayor has wanted a few plants out at the ledge during that time. It's usually a little early for planting, but he will let me know if that's something that he would like done. I think that's it. We've had a busy season. We've had a good season because we didn't have any weird water things going on. I didn't have to bug Zach too much. And yeah, it was a good planting season.
Thank you for your service. I appreciate your leadership.
It's been a blast.
And I just have to comment too, I appreciate what you've done for the city all year round. It was probably the middle of September, I believe. I was a Saturday morning and driving around town with my wife in the car, and Jeannie calls me and says, "What do you think? Should we put some mums in planters around the city?" We had just left Home Depot and saw them and said, "Yep, we know where they're for sale right now." So that was just a nice fall touch that we haven't had
Some
before.
mums out there. Yep,
So,
it was fun.
yep.
And they were beautiful. They were
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. So,
Yep. So thank you for all you do.
yeah, I'm happy to do so.
Okay, next is about the City Hall construction.
I meant to pull up like an aerial photo, and I'm not gonna frustrate myself and the whole park board on my IT skills trying to do that live, so I'm just gonna talk really briefly. City staff, council, continue to work with the architect on the plans moving forward for the PD addition and City Hall renovations. Things are gonna be moving fairly faster in the next few months. Construction could start anywhere between May 1st and July 1st, just so you know. So when we met back in, when did we meet as a group? Was that August, full council, or, I can't remember. No, it was October. Remember, we had a master meeting downstairs with the city council and the park board. And then we put little notes up all over the walls of different things that we wanted to see in both parks, to finish it off. That is me and Zach's task, obviously. We've been a little busy doing some other things, so we have not gotten there yet. Do know that probably I'm gonna target Zach and me to make sure that we get that done for park board by the April meeting. It's gonna be a big ask, so bear with us. But our plan is to take all those comments, put them together, come back to the park board for you guys to look at. If you guys kind of agree and okay with it, then you will take that recommendation to city council, and I think the best thing to do is to set up another workshop with the city council and the park board to walk through that, what that looks like. So, we haven't forgot about it. It's just been on the back burner. So, which dovetails right into the community park and the master plan, what I just talked about. One of the things that is going to be happening out there is the pavilion will need to be removed, the one that you guys hold your plant sale in. If you follow, remember what's that white pavilion out here, that will have to be taken down. Where that goes, the building official has said that it's not stable enough to be able to be picked up and replanted in another spot. So we'd be looking at coming up with another location for another pavilion if that's what we feel we need. So tonight, that's one action that I'm gonna be asking you guys about. The other is the ball field will be removed, and Babe Ruth does know about that. And so the contractor will take that out. The nativity scene is unaffected, but it's gonna be right next to the parking lot curb in the future. So that will have to be relocated within the park someplace. And city staff will do that when the time comes. So we'll be charged with that. That will be one other thing that we'll be looking at when we come with you, the plan of where we want to put that. It's been centered around, well, not really centered, it was off on the side. Monica from our office here, if you know Monica, she has been charged and given a budget to create a winter wonderland out there of different Christmas decorations for all religions. And she keeps stepping her game up, and I'm sure you probably saw it this year, a big step up from last year. And I'm pretty much sure that she's gonna ask for another step up, but that's okay. And we how do I say it the right way? Graciously call it Monicaville, after, because her name, instead of Bentleyville, it's Monicaville, so, and she's very proud of that. Where that all goes, and we'll have to figure that out over the summer, but, so those are just a couple of things like that. One other thing that the council's looking at doing, and city staff is, and that dates aren't for sure yet, but, we're targeting March 10th. It's a Monday night, it's an off-council meeting night, the second meeting in March, to have an open house for citizens to come in and look at the plans of what we're planning to do over here, so. Just watch the website notifications, and there should be some information coming out about that, so. Other than that, I don't really have anything else on the community park and that, but just know that we're gonna make sure that we take care of it. So, coming to the pavilion, a number of years ago, staff came to the park board to replace that pavilion, put a new pavilion down there in lieu of what we call the Octagon building and the square building, the beer stand, that was done. And council chose at the very end is to rehabilitate those two buildings, those roofs, and spend the money and not do a pavilion. I asked Jeff Ryder, the guy that came with the proposal, to put up another pavilion. If you remember, it was gonna be on the backside of the new bathrooms off of 13th Avenue. Just an open air pavilion. It's roughly somewhere in the range of about $100,000, just roughly. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to have it that exact same size, it goes in that same location. But just know a new pavilion, if we were gonna put one up down there, it's probably gonna be in that 100 to 150 range, depending on where we put it. So, one thing I would like to know from you as the park board, what is your feelings? Do you feel that we actually have to have another freestanding pavilion? And does it need to be in community park? Because if you feel it really does, that's a strong message to go back to the council. Or do we not need it there, and maybe we would rather have one at Rivers Edge Park or Chigello Park or wherever we could. But I guess I'm just trying to get a feel of what your thoughts are on that pavilion.
Can I clarify?
Yep.
Can I clarify the location of Community Park? Is that one here?
Yes, I'm
Next to
sorry.
us?
Yep, it's right here, right on the north side of the building.
I find that location to have a pavilion. I know I've used it numerous times in the past myself for different occasions, but having it next to where your city officials are for public relations is a really good spot. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah.
A nice bridge, a nice setting, informal, to increase, like the police or firefighters or others to be able to get there and meet with the community. I think it's a really ideal spot.
Okay, yep. Anybody else have any comments or?
I'm not sure if we need another pavilion other than the one we have. Although I do think that the little one that's being removed is going to be missed by some picnickers.
Very valid, yeah.
I'm not sure that that should be replaced, but there might be something else that can be done. to
Okay.
provide areas for picnickers. And for people who just want to meet with somebody more privately than you can in the big pavilion, because I see a lot of people during the summer, just small groups as well as large groups using that particular pavilion.
Okay. No, I appreciate the comments. Yes, that's why we're here, so.
Just to clarify, is the pavilion with the bathrooms in it?
No, no, it's not the big one. There's a small one.
Okay, my bad. I thought we were
You're fine.
No,
You're fine.
no, sorry, Rochelle, yeah.
I was talking about this small one that'll be removed. Mhm.
Roger or John, do you have any comments at all, or?
No, removing it is, it's fine with me, you know. Finding a place for it could be, you know,
I support what you want to do, Bill.
Well, it's not really what I mean, I go both ways, so it doesn't really make any difference. I think there's a need for something, and I like how you put it, right, Janice, it's maybe not that same size and we have to do that, but maybe it's something different and maybe that's a little smaller one or a couple smaller ones or something, I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay,
Then, can I just add, so
Yeah.
I didn't realize it wasn't the big one. So for little ones, they do have those, it looks like a kite. It's a plastic shelter in the form of a triangle.
bear with me. I'm gonna try to find a picture, okay? So, how do I get out of here?
I was gonna say too, at our Rock Island Park, we have 3 small, I don't wanna call them huts, but it's just a picnic table under each one. And that could be something we could look at too.
Something a little more cost-effective does sound like a good idea.
Let's see. Bear with me. Let's see, how do we get aerial here?
Yeah, I know that little one was in pretty bad shape too. It needed to be repaired or replaced anyhow.
So if you could look on your screen here and this is the existing city hall and it's this one right here that sits closer up by the ball fields. The other one is further down. Here's the new bathrooms and then you could barely see the beer stand and the octagon are here and then this is the big one, Rochelle, way down there. So the limits of the construction for the new facility is going to be roughly around right here. So that's why the ball field will go, this will have to go, but the nativity scene will have to be relocated at some point, so. And that's kind of where we were at when we met back in October, talking about this with the council and the park board, just different ideas of what we see and where that's gonna go. So I'll take these comments, we'll put them into the minutes, obviously, and me and Zach can put them in there, and we'll be back, or Zach will be back in April to continue the discussions of where we go, so.
By then too, we might have an actual visual of how much space we're losing.
Correct.
If it's gonna be clustered if we do put something else in there or not.
So one of the things that you see, obviously, obviously, these trees right here are gonna have to go. We're gonna try to minimize the rest, but, and maybe Zach, would you wanna take a second to talk about the rest of the park with ash borer? Cause it's probably very pertinent at this point.
Yeah, definitely. So we, 2 years ago, we did emerald ash borer injections. All of those trees are ash trees in that park. So they require injections every 2 years. Unfortunately, emerald ash borer is knocking on our door. The county did identify 2 spots over by Mills Fleet Farm, so it is in town. So it would be, to me, devastating if all of those trees were to get it, so we're gonna continue doing injections every 2 years there. Every other year, we are, so the injections are good for 2 years. So the off year of not doing community park, we have some down at the Healthy Living Trail, the library, there's a beautiful ash tree down there. There's also a relatively good sized one right at the corner of Third Street and 10th, Rivers Edge Park.
The sacred tree.
And some of those are oaks as well. We had some sort of chestnut borer on the Healthy Living Trail that these injections gonna hopefully take care of, so we're not removing a lot of very mature, nice shade trees, so.
You may also be noticing some leaf devastation from the beetle that has come in as well, so. And there's really nothing you can do about that. They just love their leaves. And then they come back in spring and you're good. But, so FYI, if you're getting calls on, my trees are dying because the leaves are all being eaten up and they look lace-like, that is that Japanese beetle, I believe, is what that one is. And we'll see a very unique lilac season, I'm sure of it, because they were blooming the second time last year. We'll see.
So, no, I think I'm just gonna take the comments as noted, you know, we'll have, like I said, in the minutes, and then we can work forward from there as we move this down the road. The other thing that I will make notice that if we start to lose some trees down there, it would be my charge to make sure that we start some sort of reforestation down there. So we need to look at that. We need to understand what the limits of the construction and what it's gonna take down, and then evaluate the trees, because if we think we're gonna lose 1 or 2, then let's get them out of there now and start to reforest earlier. So those will be things that you're gonna work on probably over the next 2 to 3 years with Zach on, but trying to save everything we can down there, but knowing that maybe at the end it may not be saved, so. So other than that, that's all I have on that.
Okay, we're down to number 11, dealing with Babe Ruth.
And I'm gonna turn this over to Zach, and then also, Zach, will you talk about Day of Caring? Because I realized that we met in August. So if you wanna talk about the Day of Caring and how that worked, so.
So Bill, the mayor, and myself met with Babe Ruth board a couple days ago, and they're going to be submitting their financials from last year to us. And as soon as we get that information, we'll pass that information on to you guys as well. They are, big discussion we had was about netting over the Quick Trip field.
I'll show that on the screen here, Zach.
And then that kind of goes hand in hand with our master plan of Rivers Edge Park and Community Park. And Babe Ruth also mentioned that they're looking at doing a capital improvement plan for their 5 years out. And I extended an offer to work hand in hand with them on that, because that goes hand in hand with what we're trying to do down there as well. So, only other really big thing, they have 2 very large tournaments that are coming again this year. It sounds like their numbers are staying the same, and they're bringing in a lot of benefit to the city, with a lot of people coming from other towns. And they had nothing but positive things to say about the park, and it sounds like we have one of the top 2 pristine places in the state for softball and baseball. I was gonna touch on too, Herb Bart's passed away, and his family donated 2 large baseballs that are gonna go at the entrance.
it's kind of fuzzy, but.
My best way to describe them is kind of like, as you walk into Target, the big red cement balls that are outside of their entrance, only these are, they put very nice acrylic paint on them, and they're baseballs, and it's really gonna add a nice pop to the entrance of that park. That was really all I had for Babe Ruth update. And then the day of caring, we did plant 10 trees along where Bill's Mouse is there. Red maples, so in the fall, they're gonna look really nice when they're older. And then, we had, our admin staff and department heads and city council, the mayor, all help plant those 10 trees for the morning. So that's something the United Way does. I think they reach out to St. Cloud, St. Augustus, Sartell, Sauk Rapids, all the mayors, and so we do a volunteer day with the mayor. Sounds like Ken and I are going to continue that charge. So we've been doing it for 2 years, so far I think we're up to 25 trees that we've planted. And it'll be cool in 10 years to say we've got 200 new trees.
And we always extend that invitation to the park board too, so you can come out and help with that. If we don't have trees to plant, we pick up garbage or we just do something, so a couple hours of time. So thanks, Zach, and the previous mayor, obviously, for putting that together, and so. Anything else, Zach? Any questions for Zach on the Babe Ruth at all, or Day of Caring?
You said 2 big balls. Is that for Herman Barch Jr.?
Yeah. Gunner. Oh, I missed it. Oh, we skipped over that. Yes, we did. So thanks for, you're fine. It's okay, John. I'm gonna go back to the amp. Not a lot to share here. They're feverishly booking if you've been watching anything or you're on their newsletter. We've got 8 announced shows and they're shooting for 15 to 18, so more are coming. I know that. I just can't share that with you, but I'm really excited about this year's lineup than any year before, so great variety. Yeah.
Question, what does AMP stand for?
The amphitheater, AMP.
Is that also called the Ledge?
The Ledge, yes. Yep. No worries, no, just keep asking questions. Let's see, so, any questions? Good?
Okay, moving on to the military, the memorial site.
So, been approached by a few people to consider looking at trying to find a location to do like a military honor garden that you see other communities have. And then also looking to maybe even go a little bit further, maybe a first responder memorial garden too. So I just bring it up to you as one thought is to look at utilizing the underutilized Jagello Park as a possibility site. There could be others in the city. I mean, we do have other areas that could work for that also. That's really about all I have. This is more of a grassroots, just put their toes in the water to see if there's any appetite from staff or the park board. And if you guys are willing and you want me to, or staff to move forward with this and keep working on it, we certainly will do that. Again, it's very high level, 50,000 foot idea. Not sure how it'll all work out and who's gonna pay for everything and where it goes, but if that's something that you do feel that there's an appetite for, one or the other or both, I would like to hear your thoughts on it, and then if you're so inclined to have staff move forward, then I would want a recommendation, motion and second to do that, so. I will open up for questions.
I think it'd be a great idea.
The military one?
That, from a fundraising point of view, we can go to a lot of veterans groups. They will come forward.
Okay. Can I just ask, out there, is there grant stuff out there for stuff like this, John?
Yes.
There is. Okay.
But I think going after the private side, nonprofit.
Bill,
right up their alley.
This says the first responder memorial, is it first responder and military and,
Could be any of those. Yeah. What's that?
is it the first responder memorial or is it a military memorial? or
I
both?
believe it was one or both, or either or. I don't know. Ken, do you have any more information on, I know Ken knows about as much as I do, but maybe he's got a different perspective, so.
Yeah, basically, last summer, me and Mayor Rick Miller were approached by the American Legion.
Okay.
And this is something that they're looking at raising money. Now, it's kind of not front and center with them right now because they currently do not have a building. And that's something that they're working on also. But what they wanted to do was put together a memorial. And then we thought, well, piggyback on that, do a first responders along with it.
Okay.
You know,
That's-
as long as we have an area, let's think of something big enough to do that.
So it could be on one side, but one, both. but
Correct.
Maybe, okay.
Yep,
Okay, thanks, Ken,
okay.
or Mayor. So does that help answer the, is that something that you would like staff to move forward with? And,
That makes sense.
okay, can I get a motion and a second on that?
Motion to have the staff go ahead with this.
Okay.
I second it.
All in favor?
Michelle? Okay. I'll call for the vote.
I called for the vote. All in favor?
Aye. Okay. Okay. All right, thank you. And yeah, you'll hear more from us as we go down the road here, so.
Any more on park updates, or have you pretty well?
I can't think of anything. Zach, can you think of anything, right? You know, we're in that kind of dead zone of the, well, you might talk about the hockey, or the skating rink that we did this year. That's probably, yes.
It's the first year we were able to do that for I don't know how many years, but.
Many
we
years.
had a nice cold snap there where we were able to get some good ice, so. Public is listening to this, gotta check it out.
Yep. Other business, I have a couple things here before I let the mayor come up. So just to give you an update, since we last met, which is August, so it seems like forever, and it was, so I apologize for that. But we did city council passed a budget. We put in for $30,000 to rebuild the splash pad controllers and also some ice dam for the pavilion down here, the big pavilion, so that ice doesn't slide off. Both of those got removed from the general fund budget, and we're told that we could look at coming back for parkland dedication fees if we want to get those appropriated. I'm here to tell you that I did instruct staff a couple weeks ago to look into what it's going to take to get that splash pad controller back. We had a number of issues last year. I think it was down a couple times. So it's over, I think it's 13 or 14 years old already, so it's time. So we're thinking it's somewhere in that 30 range. They're gonna come up with the new quote for that. And if we feel it's something that we can do, and we would bring forward to the council here in the next couple months to replace that. And we would look at taking that out of Parkland Fund. Parkland Fund sits at 124,000 today. It's not really healthy anymore. I mean, we spent a lot of money on doing a lot of improvements over the last 2 to 3 years, which you guys were privy to. So that's something that me, Zach, and Carla, the finance director, will watch and try to make some determinations. The other thing too, and I noticed in the minutes that I know Zach is gonna be working hard on trying to set up a good CI capital plan for the park systems. Like I said, the splash pad is 13 years old, so stuff is starting to go. We have AstroTurf out there that's about, I think it was 2 years younger than that, so 11 years old, and it's starting to show a little bit of wear and spots. And these are things that are not little $5,000 fixes. So I instructed Zach to try to start working together to put something together more master planned, long-term, bigger cost. So I know that he will be sharing that with you as we move forward too, but we need to do that due diligence for the city to make sure that we're keeping up our system versus just letting it go. And then lastly, before I turn it over to the mayor, like I said at the beginning of the meeting, Bruce Moline, all of his years of service, resigned. So I just want to let everybody know that's watching from home, that there is an opening on a park board member. So if you are interested, please stop in City Hall, pick up a one-page application and get it to us. And we're gonna try to fill that as soon as we can. So hopefully we have another member here by April's meeting, so. Other than that, I want to say thank you to all of you. Some of you have been around for a long time. The mayor's been with me for 17 years on this. So this is my 25th year as park board. So I was fortunate to have the council agree to start this board when I came, and so I'm gonna miss it, but I'm not leaving. But just thank you, everybody, for even all the past members that are out there, including Jeannie. She used to sit up here with me too, so. But thank you. Ken, would you like to say a few words?
Before the mayor jumps in, on behalf of the park board and the citizens and anybody who's worked with you, Bill, we do appreciate all the time and effort and service. And yes, I know you're not going anywhere, and yes, I know your cell phone, and I think I even have your wife's just in case. So, thank you for all the time and effort and the leadership and guidance. Much appreciated. Welcome, Zach. Goodbye, Bill.
Okay, well, like Bill said, I spent 17 years on the Parks Board, and I just wanted to come here and thank you all for taking time and doing this. You know, it's great to see people get involved in the community and community service, and appreciate what you guys do. You know, city council, we depend on boards to bring us recommendations. You know, it's hard for us to take all the time to try to figure everything out. So that's what you're there for, is to give us the information so we can make decisions that way. So again, I wanted to thank you all. I want to thank Jeannie and the Flowers for Way Park. You know, there's all kinds of volunteer opportunities in the city, and it's great if we can get all of our citizens involved in something. So, thank you.
Okay, does anybody, anything else?
Our next meeting in April?
April, yep.
Everybody take note of that. We have a motion for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. So pulled. We're adjourned.
We're adjourned. Thank you.